Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to stayfhomekins.
A
pandemical podcast. A perfectly pandemical podcast.
Hosted by me.
And me.
He is Paul F. Tompkins, a comedian.
She is Janie Haddad Tompkins, an actor.
And we are married to each other.
And to podcasting.
Oh my God. Really?
We're bigamists.
Can I ask for a divorce?
Uh-oh.
Just kidding. I love podcasting.
I'm tired today.
Yeah, I'm a little tired. Today's been a doozy.
Today's been wild.
Yeah, we just do this podcast and this is what we do.
Look,
so
hey, we just do this podcast and this is what we do. You gonna make a federal case out of it?
I'm drinking my weekend water, but I think it should be called 2020 water. Because 2020, the hits just keep on coming. Casey Kasem coming at you with hit number 527 and a countdown of hits.
Imagine if Casey Kasem had to do a countdown that started in the 500s.
Didn't something sad happen to him?
Coming in at number 290.
He had like a mean family or something, or they like, it was like elder. Am I making this up?
No. It was something
bad.
weird. There was some like maybe elder
Something
abuse
not
going
nice.
on.
I don't like that when that happens. It freaks me out.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Well, I guess I won't share this with my friends Eric and Lyle.
Wait. Oh, those guys?
Yeah, my old buddies.
The Menendez bros. They're such bros.
They're such bros.
I mean,
The Menendez bros are such bros.
true to my like true crime obsession stuff, like I went down, that whole rabbit hole or whatever.
Of course.
And I guess like the dad was pretty brutal. I'm saying like there's no like justification.
Not murder brutal.
I don't think any, murder brutal like or premeditated
Wasn't
murder.
that he maybe was molesting them or something? Or
yeah,
one of them,
I think he did.
Look, we are not. Here's what this podcast is not about: relitigating the Menendez brothers trial.
There, you know what? But there are lots of podcasts out there, I bet, that do.
For sure.
Because of the true crime phenomena. Dun, 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 dun.
Were you saying it that way because of the Bureau?
No, I just saying it because it was too much effort to put the like it's been that kind of week.
Girl, I feel you.
Like I just don't even. I had like 3 blue jeans this week.
Did we talk about blue jeans on here?
I think we did. Well, one was a self-tape. 2 were blue jeanses. Wait, and then Catherine said she calls them Bluejanies now.
Aw, that's sweet. Yeah. Blue jeans is the Zoom like
for auditions.
Yeah. Blue jeans. You can wear your blue jeans. I wish they called it dungarees. Maybe I even made that joke last time we talked about it.
Spoiler alert, I wore my like boxer shorts. Because listen, I was just like shoulders up. So I put like a nice silk blouse I buttoned to the top.
The tippy top.
That was my look, my look.
Mm-hmm.
My Luke.
Yes.
And then my Luke, okay. I am your father.
Okay. Oh, boy.
I just don't even know. I don't even know anymore.
Well, here's how the day started for me.
Oh, yeah. You had a doozy.
Yes.
You had a doozy.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday.
Email?
Yesterday.
Got an email from my agent that I got a job offer to work on a sitcom, guest star on a sitcom. And I was like, great, this sounds good. Fun part.
Very excited. He doesn't have to blue jeans it in.
I don't, this is not, I will not be wearing blue jeans.
He just served up a silver platter. Yours is silver platter. But it was exciting.
Silver platter, I think, is when you get the part, but they let you shoot it from home. That's what silver platter would
know
be.
That. I don't.
Your part is all on video.
No, that would be my that would be my nightmare because because I'd have to set it all up again. I had to break it down. Okay, keep going. So you get
so I read it. I like it. I just write back and say, "This sounds really good. What are their safety protocols for the virus and everything?" They said, "We'll check back and let you know." The whole day goes by. And I'm like, did I catch these guys unaware? They're like, oh shit, that's right, the virus.
I was like, hey, what did your agent say? Is it safe? Is it safe? I was like,
Marathon Man.
I was like Laurence Olivier. And
that's right.
I was like, is it safe?
Device angle.
Is it safe?
You were like device angle.
But I was like, y'all, is it safe?
You just trying to shoehorn that in.
Y'all, is it safe?
Y'all, they're gonna be observing them girls gonna be observing some safety protocols, and that's it tonight.
Them girls gonna be extracting some molars.
So
Marathon Man.
Yeah, Marathon Man.
Because I was excited for. I was like,
yes, of course.
It's a new show, hasn't even come out yet.
Yes,
okay.
And so they finally, like in the early evening, came back and said, "Here's their protocols." Mm-hmm. And I looked at it, I was like, "Great, this is all. They're taking this really seriously. It looks good." And I said, "Yes, I would like to do this." I wake up this morning. I did not set an alarm or anything this morning. I wasn't up super late last night, but I was like, I'm gonna lounge in bed,
Mm-hmm.
Now I never, this is a thing that I never did before the pandemic.
This is your new pandemic behavior.
It is, yeah. Like
pandemic. Everyone has new pandemic behavior.
Everyone has new pandemic behavior.
Oh yes.
So but since usually like I wake up, I just get out of bed. And now it's been like, oh, you know what? It's nice to lie in bed for a little bit, like before starting.
Yeah, because I'm not in there, y'all. I'm an early riser kind of person.
We switched places.
I mean, did we though?
I used to get up well before you did. You can't deny it. And
yeah, but that's
because
that's because you would set an alarm and get up and do like your little thing.
To get up before you. So I could hold the upper hand.
That was so long ago, though.
I know. Anyway, so I wake up. It's 8:30.
Yeah, maybe it was like 8:45.
When I look at my email.
Oh, okay.
And I see. Okay, so you have to do a COVID test essentially right now. Get out of bed.
It was like 8:45 because you came running out of the bedroom. And like you can. First, I'm sitting there having my coffee, like reading my news.
I come running in my nightshirt and my nightcap, holding my stub of candle,
having my steel cut oatmeal with banana. And he's like running in his nightcap is all askew.
I threw up the sash. I yelled out, "What day is it?" Because this fucking email says I got to get a COVID test in 10 minutes. And I'm like... So I'm
I like the Dickens version of this.
I know.
What day is it?
I am so frazzled because there's like a million things where it's like, okay, I got to get there. I got to... Wait, don't I have to eat something? How?
Also, what listeners don't know is your car needs serviced and the window and the mirror got broken.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, you're like, can I take your car? And I'm like, of course. But like
my right side
his
mirror
car
fell out.
We have a tandem parking spot and his car is on the outside.
Yeah.
So we had to do this whole like.
It's a whole song and dance.
It's like a whole situation.
Yeah.
And he comes running in and he's like, I just got this email. They want me to get my COVID test at 9:30. And I was like, where? Where do you have to go? Like, because I'm like thinking like it could be. I was like, are they sending someone to you?
The instruction.
That was like, so I was like, are they sending someone to you?
Now that's silver platter. The instructions, by the way,
a series regular.
The email of what to do. Beyond just saying this happens in a half hour,
and you're not near where it is.
It was a solid block of text. Like there was so many details.
Although there were like 5 people CC'd on it, and I was like, "What's good?" I was like, "Let me read it."
So there was
I'd already had like 2 cups of coffee, I was like, "I got this."
Yeah, I got in the car and then realized I have to download an app and I have to
You had to answer a questionnaire, and then you had to like confirm your email before the app would even let you join.
Yeah.
And he was just like pissed.
I was so mad.
And I was like, can you call and ask if there's like a window? And I was like so angry on behalf of imaginary people.
Oh.
Well, I kept like walking around the house like going, what if you're a single mom? What if your kid is in their Zoom class? What are you going to just be like, sorry teacher, I got to take this kid to Universal Studios now.
Yeah.
And he has to sit there while I get my COVID test.
Hey, teacher,
I know today's the algebra
I got to take this kid to Universal Studios now.
I was just like, I don't get it. Like, also, like, your deal didn't even close. Like, you found out last night about it.
I do not know how much money I'm getting.
You might not be getting any money.
I hope I'm getting paid.
You might not be getting any money.
So,
like, he basically just, like, said last night he would do it, and then he got this email. And I said, when did they send the email? Because then I was like, if they send it at like 11, like, maybe then a little bit is on you. Just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But they sent it at 6 a.m.
They sent it at 6 a.m.
Yeah. Which, if I'd been up 3 hours, sure.
Yeah, but like, come on. Come on, people.
I have to go to Universal Studios, which is, there's Universal City Walk, which is the tourist attraction. And then there's the actual buildings where the work happens, which are not all in the same place. They're spread out.
There's like different entrances. It's like it's huge.
Crazy.
It's kind of a big studio.
Yes, there's like a part 2 of the lot that is not even close to where
the second entrance, and then you always go there and you're like, I have an audition for this, and they're like, you mean gate number 7 or whatever, and they point, and then you have to do a U-turn.
The problem is it's un-Google mappable.
Which is strange to me because I feel like Google Maps has like they do have lots like Disney lot you can.
But I drove. You can't just necessarily punch an address in for this. That happens to me with Universal Studios specifically.
Universal Studios is not my favorite studio.
No. It's very hard. It just takes you to. It's almost like it takes you to the mailing address.
Yeah,
it's like, well, this doesn't help me.
Yeah,
it's like 100 Universal Way. It's like, no, I have to go to this specific place.
It's all weird.
So I'm driving around, and now I asked for and received an extension on the test. I'm like, can I be a half hour later? And they said, sure. So now I'm driving around. I would have been early. I ended up being like 15 minutes late. Yeah.
For your later call.
Then when I finally got there, it was so casual that I was like, I bet I could have done this.
Like at 2 p.m.
Yeah. I could have done this anytime.
Like I could have just been like, whenever.
Yeah. I could have responded to that email and said, I'll see you when I see you. Ready to stick a Q-tip
I mean,
up my
but
nose.
also, like, you don't want to mess up your chances of getting the job and stuff. Like, if they're like, Paul didn't show up for his COVID.
Of course not.
Paul, we gave him, he said he would do the job, but he didn't show up for his COVID test.
I don't know what to think about this guy. Anyway, let's roll the dice. What my feeling is, they should give any job that's hiring you, for any freelance kind of thing like this, where you're going to be around other people, anything about the job should come with, here's what we're doing about COVID.
Hey, we want Paul to be on our sitcom. P.S. We have this, and this about COVID. He's going to have to get a test on tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At least, how about a heads up, like, and we need to know right away because we need
3
to do a test.
days for the turnaround time on the test or whatever the turnaround time is.
But anyway, it all worked out fine.
It was fine. It was just like
I was just more anxious about it than anything. It was all fine. It's like the thing is, I forget sometimes that, like, being an adult, I don't have to be anxious about stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can just say,
maybe.
but I can call this other adult and say, hey, I'm sorry, I just got this, and there's no way I'm going to make it by 9:30. So how about 10:30? Is that okay? You know what I mean?
Guess I just
that's all I had to do.
It's the way that I think it's less about adult. I think there's like a weird professionalism bar that goes along with being an actor because you're so replaceable like all the time.
Yes.
That
And in fact, I might be replacing someone
by
because,
tomorrow.
Well, no,
With your
I think
COVID.
I am replacing someone.
I wondered that because you
because
got
it
the
works
call.
on Tuesday.
I know. I wondered that. But I also know how casting can work sometimes. And also, like, someone tested positive and they were like, who do we get? And they're like, Paul.
I did see like a lot because on the first page of the script that you get, it will have the actors that are playing the roles. There'll be a cast list.
Yes, and if it has someone else's name or TBD next to your character name, then you know.
Yes, and there were a lot of blank
TBDs.
Yeah. So who knows? It's a weird time.
Well, yes.
Anyway, so that all worked out fine after all that.
That sent you into a frenzy.
Oh, it was so.
It sent Paul into a frenzy. Oh, and you still have to take an online class before you're allowed to work.
Yes, the one other appointment I had today, which was a haircut, which I was lucky to get.
Which you haven't had since like February or March.
Oh, I've been butchering my own hair.
Oh my God. Okay, you just made me think of something.
Yes, absolutely. Hold that thought. But so of course the orientation about COVID is scheduled at the same time as this magical haircut appointment. So then I was like, hey, I can't do it at 2. What other? Now I was back into, I'm a grown up. I can deal with. I have a life. Yeah, I could say, I can't do that time. What other times are available? Yeah. And so I'm going to do it Monday. They do this. It's like they do it the same time every day, Monday through Friday. But I think it's like an hour long or something.
What I can't believe is like, okay, so like when I've been called for jury duty, you have to like.
Me too.
And like you have to go through this orientation before you're allowed to continue with your jury duty. Mm-hmm. And they have an online orientation. And they know if you've completed it.
Yeah.
Like there's like an online class where they know if you've completed it before you come in for jury duty, or if you're lying. Right. And you're like, yeah, I watched the orientation. Like they have like a system online.
What was your favorite part? Yeah, they have a lot of traps. Did you like it when the bailiff shot his gun? Yeah. He never did.
You didn't watch it. You better go downstairs, go back to that orientation. And like you want to do the jury duty orientation online because otherwise you have to go like half an hour early.
Yeah.
And it's already like 7 a.m. downtown and the parking's not near.
People don't understand the time zones of Los Angeles. When whatever time it is here, it's 7 a.m. downtown.
7 a.m. downtown.
It's always 7 a.m. downtown.
Okay, so you had a day. Plus, we've had a day.
Then I got my haircut, which was
must have
weird,
been glorious.
But it wasn't. You know what? It was. I was so. They handled it really well.
To
They're
have
like
a stranger touch you. That sounds amazing.
She barely touched me.
I mean, that sounds so good.
It was like to have a normal thing like that, even though it was done in an abnormal way.
Yeah.
But
did she have on a mask and a face shield?
She had a mask and the face shield, 2 bits. She had gloves, and yeah, it was fine. And she did a good job. They handled everything really well. Like you had to fill out like a sort of brief health history,
right? Like
at the door, and then knock on the door, and then they take your temperature, and then they let you in when they're ready.
The temperature thing I don't get, but.
I got my temperature taken so many times today because first, when I could not find the place that I was trying to go to at Universal Studios, I just pulled into the main gate.
They wouldn't even answer your question without shooting a thermometer at your forehead.
Yes, I had to. Before I could talk to the guy at the gate, there was you
couldn't even hold up a Post-it note to say where are the fucking COVID tests. Where are the fucking COVID tests?
They protected their gatekeeper. So
I mean, I'm glad they're protecting the gatekeeper, but like, I don't know. Like the temperature thing is only if you're symptomatic.
What do you mean?
So you only.
Oh, you're saying it won't detect an asymptomatic person
or pre-symptomatic. Pre-symptomatic is dangerous because that's a very contagious time. in the virus.
It's such a contagious time.
Pre-symptomatic.
Treasure this, guys. Treasure this.
Asymptomatic, pre-symptomatic. I mean, listen, I don't get it. Oh, I just got an audition. Oh, what is this?
A podcast that we're doing together, I thought.
Sorry. I thought people like when we talk about our industry insider stuff.
I don't know if they want it in real time, though. Ooh, a calendar alert.
I have nothing going on in my life, so.
Traffic is light. Better leave in 15 minutes.
That's what I get all the time. And I'm like, we don't, because you left all your calendar stuff up, your recurring calendar stuff during the pandemic.
I did.
And then I kept getting these alerts like traffic is light. You have a show at Dynasty Typewriter.
Why
and
are
I'm like,
you getting those alerts?
Because I don't know. Because we're sharing. I don't know.
But I don't feel like I'm getting alerts for you.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
It sounds like you got to fix your settings.
No, that's just how it works. I don't know how to fix that.
But why am I not getting alerts for your appointments?
Because I don't have any appointments.
No, that's not true.
I don't know. I don't get alerts for every appointment I have either. So something you're doing with the way you're doing the
you
calendar.
might not set notifications. But I don't think I set notifications for those because they're recurring events. I know they're happening.
I don't know. Listen.
But it is bittersweet. It's
I'm surly. I'm in a bad mood today. Today is not a good day.
Because of me?
No, because of the news, but I don't want to talk about it.
Yes. And then the day ended, of course, with terrible news. But now we're doing this.
Yeah. We lost like a Supreme Court justice. I don't want people to think.
One.
Yeah, but I don't want people to think like we found out like, we're being evicted or something. Which is a very real thing in COVID.
I assumed that people would know, but then we don't know what day people are listening to this. And maybe it won't be top of mind if they listen like on a Monday.
I mean, I might have to take a break earlier to get a second weekend water than normal. Anyway, I wanted to tell a story because you mentioned a haircut. So get this. So we're on this thread. With our friends.
A text thread.
Yes. And so we're like talking about hair because I haven't had my hair cut in like forever. And I don't know. It just came up. Like, you know how people haven't had haircuts because of COVID?
Yeah.
And it just came up. Oh, no, I know what it was.
You ever notice how people haven't had a haircut since COVID?
By the way, this is totally unrelated, but I saw this like old clip. I was watching this docu-series it was about something that happened in the 80s. Mm-hmm. And they showed this old clip of Seinfeld. And I was like, I could have been a stand-up. I'm like, that's what stand-up was?
This guy's a legend?
I mean, listen, I'm not knocking Seinfeld. I'm not saying...
Do you remember this material?
It was...
it's something to do with the space shuttle.
I was watching this docuseries about the Challenger tragedy, which, by the way, I saw it happen at school. Mm-hmm. Like, I was in school when that happened. Mm-hmm. And so many people were. And
not me, man. I was cool. I was playing hooky.
You skipped school.
I was at the Roy Rogers smoking cigarettes.
Skip school. So the docuseries was illuminating because I didn't know there was all this like investigation afterwards and stuff. Did you know all that stuff?
Vaguely. I mean, because it was a huge. I'm a little bit older, so it was maybe I was maybe more aware of that aspect of it. But
okay.
Yeah, because it was
there was like negligent. There was like bad decision making, which I didn't know. I just thought it happened, So it was illuminating. But there was a whole segment in the docuseries about how there was like a period in America, like they were trying to like get people excited about going up in the shuttle, like because they were going up in the shuttle like back and forth all the time. It was like this whole thing. I didn't realize that was the whole thing. I didn't realize shuttle meant like we send it up, it comes back. We sent like it was like the bus or whatever. Like I didn't get it. And so
you didn't get it then?
No, that was not explained well to my child's self. But there was like a whole period in history where it was like it became a little blasé.
Right.
So the idea was that people were sort of disenchanted with this idea, and they were like desperately wanted the public to be like hyped on it.
Right.
So that it was like bad news that people were like, yeah, it's no big deal. And I can't remember the specific joke that they clipped the Seinfeld. He was like on the Tonight Show or something. And it was something, had to do with it about it being so blasé. It was like, I don't know, like going out to pick up the paper. It was like something like that.
Yeah, we've been in Spain. You going to pick up the paper?
It would, I mean, listen, sounds like I'm knocking Seinfeld, and I honestly do not have a negative.
You're lifting yourself up. I think it's great.
I love Seinfeld. I love Seinfeld. Like, that's not in question. I'm not like trying to like,
I think you're okay. I don't think there's going to be like a witch hunt.
You'd be surprised the reactions I get online about my opinions.
I understand.
That I'm allowed to have.
I understand.
As a human person.
Honey, I understand.
However, my whole like thought when that clip happened, like whatever his thing was, I was like, that was all you had to bring to the table? Like, seriously? Like, was it just like a low competition threshold or something? Because, like, I feel like I could have come up with some challenger material, like, even,
Well, it's easy to say now. More than Seinfeld did at the time. I do. But what I'm saying is like, I feel like if I had been Seinfeld's age at the time of this all happening, like I could have had a whole different, like, this is like a sliding doors thing. Like I could have gone into a totally different field. I could have been like, doing my type 5 on the Challenger and like getting it. Like my take would have been like way more fantastical and silly. Like my take would have been like so surreal and, like down these like corridors and stuff. Wow.
And I feel like his take was like, it's lame, it's like brushing your teeth or whatever. I was like, what? People thought that was like enough to get on the Tonight Show
when there were only 3 channels. Was his angle that the Challenger was not that big a deal because it goes and comes back?
Yes, that was sort of in the zeitgeist at the time, was that it was not a big deal.
Right.
And so that's why they decided to stick a teacher on there. That was like their whole like hook. Like, we're going to get like a regular old person.
Hey, everybody loves teachers.
Well, I mean, in a way, I was actually surprised that people did love teachers then, because I feel like we don't love teachers anymore, and that kind of is lame.
Well, there is a weird.
There's so like an anti-teacher. I feel like there's an anti-education, anti-intellectual sort of.
There is an anti-intellectualism, but there's this strain of people who are like, teachers are taking advantage of the system, and they're, these unions and these teachers.
Well, people hate unions unless you're police.
Yeah, exactly.
Then they love unions. Exactly. Then they're like, unions are the best.
Yeah, but it's like, these are people who I guess don't know someone personally who is a teacher. Anyone that thinks
that doesn't make sense, because we all had that, like, at least that one teacher.
Having a teacher is different than knowing a teacher.
I mean, I know so many teachers right now, and they're like freaked out about like going back in the classroom.
It was already bad.
Yeah,
it was already bad.
Yeah,
and then there's people that are trying to somehow.
It's like such hard work. I don't understand. Anyway, so it was interesting. So I guess when they were like, we got to jazz this thing up. We got to get like a regular old schmo off the street or whatever. And so they were like, we're going to figure it out.
Some loser.
Some dumbass. And like all these, like so many people. Here's what I don't understand. There are like so many people who want to go to space.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it.
Like, not at all.
I don't know. I think it would be like so frightening to me. Like I would have had to, like I'd have to like make peace with like my life. Like I'd have to be like, this is it. Here's my will and testament.
And you're not talking about going to Mars. You're talking about just if somebody said, we're going to take you up in orbit and you'll go around.
Yeah.
You'll make an orbit.
Yeah.
Or just not even like a full orbit of the Earth, but that we will take you up. You will see the Earth from space and then we'll take you back down.
Yeah. That would be terrifying to me. Personally, I understand the curiosity and the wonder and how it could change your perspective and be so thrilling. But on the other hand, maybe because I saw the Challenger maybe as a child because I saw the Challenger blow up.
Absolutely.
In a classroom. Of
course.
You know, I
course.
don't know. Maybe that was like so traumatic. I mean, because it was traumatic to a certain generation for sure.
Oh my God. To like watch that fucking happen live?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But my whole thing is like, and then just like the whole training of it, like you have to do all those things like to see if you can withstand like certain G-force or what.
You're talking about the vomit comet.
The vomit comet and all that. Like I don't see my personal physical self being able to endure what is, because I'm like not a hardy person. People might not know that from the podcast. You don't know me personally.
I know you picture her wearing animal skins and holding a big harpoon.
Y'all don't know what I'm like. Like you could push me over.
Nobody better
like
try
I could
though.
like, and I did karate when I was a kid.
That's right.
I did taekwondo.
That's right.
Like I don't have. I mean, like it's all mental for. It's like it's like brains for me. It's not brute. Like I don't have. Like I would be the one in the Cobra Kai, or I would be at Miyagi-Do. Like I'm Miyagi-Do and not Cobra Kai. Sure. But like I just don't think, and like I get sick. Like what I got sick like the other day from like eating bread.
Oh, Cuckoo, you're right.
I mean, I'm not exaggerating though.
No, you're not.
Like you're agreeing with me.
You're not, but I would love to see you in space.
That I'm like a very delicate physical person.
You're just a delicate flower.
I don't know. No, I'm like a wimp. I just don't know. But
You're
you
just
would go.
a delicate wimp.
Before we take our break, just I want to know, like, you would go.
Yes.
Because Paul was like, I would totally go.
Yeah, I would go. I don't want to go to Mars.
But
Like, I don't want to.
you also could withstand the vomit comet.
Maybe.
He's got
I
like
have
a
pretty strong
constitution, man.
yeah.
Like ironclad.
I'm
Okay.
Hey. Just like America's.
Like.
All right, we have to take a break, and then when we come
Yes.
back, you have to tell the haircut story because you forgot.
I forgot the haircut story.
Oh, we're going to take a break. This is it. We have an ad for you. This is
From
about
a podcast friend.
Yeah, it's a podcast friend. I'm going to be on this podcast very soon. It's called "Can I Pet Your Dog?" and it's a podcast about dogs. Yeah. So here you go.
Hi, I'm Renee Colbert.
I'm Alexis Preston.
And we're the hosts of the smash hit podcast, Can I Pet Your Dog? Now, Alexis.
Yes.
We got big news.
Uh-oh.
Since last we did a promo, our dogs have become famous.
World famous.
Like,
Stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
second big news. The reviews are in. Take yourself to Apple Podcasts. You know what you're going to hear? We're happy.
It's true.
We're a delight, a great distraction from the world.
I like that part a lot.
So if that's what you guys are looking for, you got to check out our show. But what else can they expect?
We've got dog tech, dog news, celebrities with their dogs, all dog things.
All the dog things. So if that interests you, well, get yourself on over to Maximum Fun every Tuesday.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Can I Pet Your Dog? It's a fun show.
I can't wait to hear it. I'm excited about your episode.
Now, the haircut story.
Okay. So our friend, he was getting an award. He writes on New Amsterdam, which it is Paul's like leaving.
What if I left? Like went to bed?
You know what? It's 2020. Nothing's off the table. All
That's right.
So he writes on New Amsterdam, and he was getting an award for his episode from this like humanitarian awards thing. So he told all of us, "Oh,
This was part of the Creative Arts Emmys.
no, it was a fundraiser thing." Why do you think it was part of the Creative Arts Emmys?
Because that's how we watched it? That's not what that was?
No, it was a humanitarian. It was like humanitarian in the arts. It's like a
Wow.
separate.
It was just its own broadcast.
Yes, because his award, remember, it was like clear crystal.
I remember the award.
Any hizzle?
I thought it was part of the Emmys because the
Emmys are being
they're doing the Creative Arts Emmys, which is the
Shmemmys.
not famous people.
Shmemmys.
Me, I know you like to say Shmemmys.
That's what everybody says.
You're the only person I've
That
ever
is
heard
not
say that.
true.
It's
Like-
absolutely true.
No, comedy writers call it the Shmemmys.
Comedy writers.
I know, but I love comedy. Okay, keep going.
After on the 53rd floor, whatever the fuck.
I was in that play. Okay, keep going.
So I thought that it was part of that because that's happening right now over the course of several nights.
No.
And I know that I think they do it at the Emmys too. I know they do it at the Oscars. Somebody gets a humanitarian award that is not an Oscar.
Right. This was separate. This was a
Maybe
separate
it is.
event.
The Gene Herschel Humanitarian Award.
This
It is shaped like an Oscar.
Yeah, it's an Oscar. It's an Oscar. Yeah.
It's an Oscar. Oh, yeah, it's an Oscar.
Oh my god.
Oh, and you got your Oscar, did you? Well, we're all real proud of you.
Oh yeah. Oh, I told your mom that we watched you on the Oscars.
This is people talking to Martin Scorsese. Hey, Marty.
Our Martin. Oh my gosh, I watched your Irishman. Irishman.
Is this person from this country?
They're in Fargo.
It
This person's in
started
Fargo.
to sound like kind of MidSOMMar for a second.
MidSOMMar. That's how those people are the same people. Scandinavian.
It's true. It's very true.
Scandinavians.
Here's what I liked about MidSOMMar. Right?
MidSOMMar?
MidSOMMar. Is that when, and this is a spoiler,
Yeah.
so fast forward, 30 seconds or whatever if you don't want MidSOMMar spoiled for you.
But also, it's been out for like 2 years.
Yeah. When, so the young people, the visitors
Yeah.
are gathered with the village to watch the ceremony where the two old people jump off the cliff.
That's like the most intense scene.
Yeah. And then when it's finally over and they've clubbed the old man to death, one of the couples is freaking out like, this is fucked up or whatever.
Yeah.
And then somebody, like one of the villagers, turns to the guy that brought them and says, you didn't explain our
Our murder
explain
ceremony.
the ceremony?
Wait, I don't. Okay, I don't remember that. First of all, I did.
You don't remember that? It was crazy.
Well, first of all, I did not. Okay, for our listeners, I did not see MidSOMMar with Paul. I went with my girlfriend
True.
Maria, and we were clutching one another violently and laughing through the whole movie.
It's that movie, like Hereditary. They're very well made movies, but
I liked. Here's the thing: I don't even dislike the movie.
you're gonna like my take then.
Okay,
They're very well made movies. A lot of story problems. A lot of problems where it's like, well, why would that happen? Why wouldn't they just do this?
yeah.
But my experience with MidSOMMar was when it was out. I had not seen it. You had seen it.
I went to see it with Maria, and I was like, I don't know if you'll like. You should just maybe just see it and see what you think. Like I was kind of like a little, and you're like, I kind of want to see it.
Yeah, I was curious to see it.
Yeah.
But I was not that motivated, and so I think it was the second time I met my daughter Natalie, and we were talking backstage at the Bell House in Brooklyn, and that movie came up, and I said, "What happens in that movie?" And she said, "Well, I don't want to ruin it for you." I said, "You're not going to ruin it for me. You can tell me the whole thing." And then she
Okay.
did. She like went through the whole thing.
Oh, really?
She did a great job. She like really nailed it.
By
And
the way,
then-
Natalie is a friend of ours. Paul does not have an estranged daughter that he met.
it's true, but I do like
Yeah.
people speculating about it.
You do?
I kind of do.
I think that's weird.
I kind of do because it sort of makes me a dad in a way where I
Does
don't.
it?
well,
But
yeah,
Paul's
in
not a dad
in
and I'm not a
passive
mom.
way. We're not dads. We're not moms. Do what you want with your room. Don't make your bed. I don't give a shit.
All I know is that, like, I felt like MidSOMMar, like, they leaned in to the hallucinogenics device.
Yes.
Very conveniently when they needed to. Like, it was a lot of that.
Yeah.
Like, to the point of, like, okay, we get it. Y'all are taking these fun hallucinogenics that make horror happen. Like, you gotta, like, have some horror happen that's not necessary.
You gotta have some horror happen?
I mean, is that crazy to say?
Is it just me, folks? Is this part of your type 5?
I enjoyed MidSOMMar on some levels and then thought there was some comedically stupid things on other levels.
Yeah. Which may be sort of
a genre.
It could be intended to be a little funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A little campy, a little like wink wink, a little like we know these like certain tropes or
yes,
you know, corny or whatever. Yeah.
It's a
But there were certain moments of it that were certainly horrific. Oh, and another thing that made me mad about now you got me on MidSOMMar.
See what I do?
Damn it. There was I never wanted to talk about this movie. So at the beginning...
There's still time to not talk about it.
Yeah, but I have to say my piece about it. Because at the very beginning of the movie, there's like a tragedy that happens to the girl. Mm-hmm. Like her parents die or something.
Yes.
In this terrible way.
We probably should have people fast forward more than 30 seconds.
It happens in the first minute of the movie.
To be fair, that's true. It is how the movie
it's like
starts.
the beginning of the movie, like to the point where it almost is like teasing out that is a central plot of the movie.
Right.
When really we just know, like all they're doing is setting up that she's this vulnerable, grieving person.
Yes.
That is susceptible to cults. Mm-hmm. And bad relationships.
Right.
So, but it like for the whole movie, you're thinking like they're going to like tie in that event to these people somehow or something. I don't know. Did you think that when you watched that movie?
I mean, it wasn't, if there was a connection, I don't think it was that ironclad, but certainly
there was no connection.
The
it was
idea
just
of elders dying and, you know, whatever.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
I don't know. But
well, maybe I need to revisit. Maybe I didn't watch it critically enough because I was goofing off with Maria.
Goofing off?
We were in the theater and she was like, we were just like laughing, like looking at other people like, what the fuck? People like this. And then we went out into the mall and like laughed.
Well, fun.
Yeah.
Went to Spencer's Gifts, put our face in the nails.
So anyway, we're watching Aaron on this thing, which is like a YouTube link. It's just like a YouTube link. This is like 2 nights ago. And then we were like, oh my gosh, congratulations on your award for New Amsterdam. This is on this thread, you know. And he was like, I don't know.
Another text thread. Folks, we're part of a lot of text threads.
Humble brag. And so he was like, I don't know, my head looked weird. And we were like, no, you looked good. You did a good job. You presented well. And we're saying all these wonderful things, which was true. Like, we felt proud of Aaron. And then he was like, yeah, well. He was like, yeah, well, Krista, who's on the thread, his wife, Krista gave me a haircut. And we were like, oh, okay. Well, good job, Krista. And then they sent this photograph of the back.
I want to look at it
of Aaron's head. I almost feel like it's going to have to be a reference photo in our Instagram montage this week because now I'm like, we have to ask Aaron if we can post. So
we do have to ask him because it's
okay. So he sends this picture of the back of his head and like she clearly mutilated his hair. Like it was so weird. It was like, I don't know. Paul just pulled it up right there.
It's so...
And I was like, so now he sends this photo.
It looks intentional, by the way. Like, this looks like I meant to do this.
I don't know what happened, but he sent this photo like, yeah, she cut my hair and, you know, he sent it. And now I'm like dying at how bad it is. But I don't understand the tone of the thread at this moment. Like, I'm like, wait, are we now supposed to be like, it's not that bad? Or like, I didn't know where we were going with this. And so I just was silent. Like, I just was like, okay, I can't say anything because and then a couple minutes go by or several minutes go by, and then he finally wrote mistakes were made. When he wrote like mistakes were made, the thread unleashed. Like the thread, like the dam broke.
It was not.
The dam broke.
He did not say mistakes
Who said
were
mistakes
made. Krista said we all made mistakes.
Oh, she said we all make mistakes.
Yes, with that emoji that's like the gritted teeth, like, uh-oh.
Oh my God. So then suddenly there was this pylon of like everyone responding in this way that was authentic versus
Then Krista sent a link
to a bad haircut.
to bad haircuts, and the first one looks exactly like that. Like she did this
Like
on
she
purpose.
didn't read it
She did this on
before?
purpose. She did this on purpose.
No way.
She's
No
trying
way.
to get into this list of bad haircuts.
I don't know what. Why would you do that?
Keep your voice down.
Why would you do it? Why would you do
It
it?
says text thread conspiracy.
I don't know.
ASMR.
But I will say that.
I think that Krista
Come
saw
on.
this link and she wanted to get famous on the
No
internet
one's
for
going to
giving
hear
a bad
you right
COVID
now. You
haircut.
have to up your whisper. You have to whisper talk.
No, this
Like a
is
stage.
I know what. How dare you accuse me of not knowing how to do ASMR?
Oh, we're doing ASMR or are we doing whisper conspiracy
We're
talk?
doing ASMR. This is conspiracy
okay,
ASMR.
okay.
Well, now you're still whispering.
I said I was going to whisper.
Okay.
Do you want me to whisper? Do you want me to talk?
There's so many types of ASMR. Krista is trying to get on this UK thread.
UK thread.
It's a UK thread of bad COVID haircuts.
Well, once the floodgates unopened.
Once floodgates open. Unleash the floodgates!
People started piling on this haircut. And then Steve came in with... He shut it down. He dropped the mic. He said, party in the front, terrible in the back. And I was like, Steve, you won the thread. You won the thread. I was like, party in the front, terrible in the back is maybe my favorite thing that's ever
It's
happened.
really funny.
It's so funny. Did you see that he said that?
Yes, I'm trying
okay.
to find it now.
Because I feel like you just like heard
No,
it for the
business in the front. Because that's the
Oh.
mullet. Is business in
y'all,
the front.
Y'all, I'm sorry. Business in the front, terrible in the back. I screwed it up.
It's okay. We've righted the ship. Look, it's been a week. It's been a hell of a week.
I can't fucking deal.
Honey, no. Honey, no. You're really crumbling.
I don't.
You're folding in on yourself like the house in Poltergeist. That's a big spoiler.
I can't. Is everyone okay out there? This is not good. 2020 is not
Are we
good.
the only people left on Earth? Please let us know.
I don't want to be. I was like texting with my friends today, and I was like, I don't get it. Like, was 1968 like this? Because they got to hug strangers.
Boy, they hugged a lot. 1968?
You know?
Man, oh man.
Come on. 1968 may have been cuckoo pants, but at least they got to hug their fucking friends and
Yeah.
see their. Ugh.
I was thinking this. Were people complaining like this during the 1918 flu epidemic?
Of course they were. Of course they were.
I miss hugging my friends.
They just couldn't do a podcast about
I miss hugging my
it.
friends.
Was there radio in 1918?
Sure there was.
Are you sure?
No. I think that there
It's
was.
on the old Marconi. Fire up the old Marconi.
Who am I talking to right now?
I've been inhabited by a 1918 ghost. I want to turn. I like to listen to the old Marconi in the corner. And we have a real time and we dance around.
Look outside, Feld.
I didn't say my. That's my act.
This next comedian, great to have her on the show. She does it's a little unusual.
She does not.
She's inhabited by the ghost of a 1918 radio listener.
I don't even think they had radio in 1918. I think it was like
it's a really good
1923
question.
or something. Alexa,
Oh, no. Don't drag her into this.
when was the radio invented? Fuck you.
Okay, Alexa, thanks.
I wanted a one-word answer and you blew it.
What did she say?
She said, of course, Paul F., enjoy
Ew,
your
I
night.
don't like that.
Paul changed a computer to Alexa, and it made me mad because every time I try to summon her, I'm like, computer. And then I'm like, God damn it.
We got so used
Alexa.
to the computer, but then we were watching, I think it was because of the Bureau, because they say the word computer. No, what was so funny was while we were watching the Bureau, they would occasionally say words that were not computer, but it would still activate Alexa, like she would get quiet, like she was waiting for a command. I'm not talking to you.
Oh my God, she's glowing.
Oh my God, she's glowing. Do you think she's pregnant?
Yeah, you don't know it? Guess what? Weren't talking to you.
We gotta be nice to the AI.
By the way, I yell at the AI. So I say like all these things, and Paul gets mad because I'm like,
It's so funny though. I love yelling at the. It really is funny to me.
although
but
it's
then I
bad
do
that we
get
have
scared.
like the AI in our house, we're idiots.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
of all, like
No, we're dumb.
I'm so out there, like online. I have no protected this or that. I'm all about the AI. I'm like, I even sent my goddamn DNA to 23andMe. And then I was like, I want to know more about my family. And my brother was like, no way am I sending he's like, I'm not sending my goddamn DNA to the government or whatever. He would like not do it. He wouldn't do it. And then I had to like cajole my dad because I had to have like a male member of my family do it to get my complete thing.
Right.
I don't know. You know what? I bet my DNA thing is bullshit because like they keep saying like this person's your relative like out in like Idaho or whatever, like Iowa or whatever. And I'm like, they don't fucking know. They don't know. It's like a scam, right?
It's a scam.
Do you think it's a scam?
I think it's all a scam. It's the government. And then you get there and they're like, we're raising your taxes.
All I know is that I've screwed myself. I'm probably going to lose my health insurance in like 6 months because I did 23andMe.
What?
Well, because like they have like my health. They have like my whole health.
Right. But you don't have anything that's like this person can't work.
No, but I mean, they're like, oh, when you're like 70, you're going to have macular degeneration or whatever.
Oh, sure. So they're not hiring you.
I'm just saying, like, I've done a risky thing, okay? By allowing total openness into my home, on the internet. I haven't
relationship.
Relationship. Wait, are we?
We share too much.
I share so much. I think oversharing is bad, and yet I still overshare.
You just don't like when other people do it.
I love when other people
What you do like when other people do it.
When other people overshare. First of all, people overshare with me a lot.
You're one of those people.
And I'm cool with it.
Right.
Just like, open the floodgate or
Loose the floodgates.
What do you think about it all? Tell me your thoughts.
I feel like I can be oversharey sometimes, but I feel like not with strangers necessarily.
But social media is that.
Yeah.
So what is that all about?
I don't think I do that too much. Every once in a while. I don't know. Every once in a while I like being human in that way in a public place. Of
People
saying like,
do online and it's fine, but I also think,
There's something about it that does make you feel less alone sometimes.
I agree with
other
that.
people are like, yes, I'm going through that too.
I feel that, oh my God, like thanks for sharing or, whatever.
Yeah.
But then every now and then you'll say like, I'm scared. And then someone's like, no one gives a fuck what you think, you bitch.
Well, there's always that.
You stupid cunt.
God. E for explicit. Dropping the C-bomb.
Biden's the same as Trump, you idiot. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
You know those people?
Yes, I do.
Those
yes,
people
I do.
are like the worst people.
I know. It's a fucking, everything's a drag right now. It's such a drag right now.
I have like a theory that I just came up with from the second drink. Here's the thing.
Oh boy.
I think everything is cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
To everything, turn. There's a season, blah, blah, blah.
A time to gather stones, time to cast stones away.
I'm thinking like this time of hyper divisiveness and partisanship and delusion. Conspiracy theory, whatever. Blue dress, yellow dress, whatever. I feel like it has to peak and then valley again to where there's like, you know, like certain disasters happen in our country's history, and then we sort of come together.
Yeah.
You know, like where people reach across divides of ideology. And stuff.
Yeah.
So is that just like a kumbaya Pollyanna bullshit?
No, there's been a lot of talk about this because we just had the anniversary of 9/11. Hold your applause. And
E for explicit.
And there was that guy Paul Krugman who said,
well, he made it tone deaf.
All in all, we really pulled together after 9/11. And
well, New Yorkers is he a New Yorker?
I don't know. There was no significant increase in Islamophobia, and it's like, what are you talking about?
What newspaper were you not reading?
It was so crazy. So it's like there are within the
he meant like in the 5 minutes after.
No,
like
even
the day
even the 5 minutes after, it was fucking crazy. People immediately were like,
"You're wearing a towel on your head. I hate you."
Yeah. But so my point is that there's in terms of people pulling together, you're never getting everybody at the same time, and you're getting people that pull together with people that are like them, and the instances where we all pull together, regardless of who we are much fewer, are far fewer, I think.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, so in a way, what you're saying is human nature is not constant.
No, I'm saying human nature is unfortunately very constant, and that what happens is people will tend to side with their own tribe. You know, well, look, it's white people. White people will be able to pull together, and they're like, well, we're going to lend a helping hand, you know, to these people. And that in their mind is everybody came together. And it's like, well, you're actually leaving out a great swath of people that are not out of Norman Rockwell or whatever.
Outside their homes go to their mosque.
It's part of like our culture is the default is white. And so that's what we think of when we think of people, you know.
I think that message would have been accurate if he had allowed for the reality that there was an increase in Islamophobia.
Well, but if he had, he would not have had a point. He wouldn't have been posting that anyway.
I will say this.
You know, he would have nothing to...
And I'm not defending him because I think his tweet was tone deaf and unfortunate. And I don't...
Not just tone deaf, but wrong.
But delusional.
Factually wrong.
Is that there was in the world... post 9/11, there was a sentiment of solidarity in the world. Mm-hmm. And then that was squandered. That sentiment of, oh, this was an unprovoked attack by terrorists, you know, and then that was squandered.
Yes. However you felt about what led to the attack,
it
was a horrible attack. We had the sympathy of most of the people of the world.
Yes.
And then the Iraq War.
Yeah. Unlike because on 9/11, because I was in Manhattan and I went to work and I was working for a Jewish organization at the time. I worked for a rabbi. And as soon as I got there and I heard a plane hit the World Trade Center, I thought it was a drunk pilot, like a prop plane or something.
Yeah.
Like I had
Yeah.
no like, and then my rabbi boss walked in and I was like manning all the phones because my parents were calling me like, "Are you okay? Okay?" And I was like, "What?" And like I was so clueless that this was a thing. And then he walked in. He's like, "What's going on?" I was like, "A plane at the World Trade Center," and he knew immediately that it was terrorism. And this was before like the second plane hit.
Mm-hmm.
And I just was like so clueless about like world affairs. I mean, like I was like trying to figure out how to get Tuesdays off to go to an acting class.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I was so like self-absorbed in my own little bubble of like the arts and living in New York and like.
But to be fair to yourself, a lot of people.
I mean, I was only 20.
When that first one hit, a lot of people thought it might be an accident. You know,
He knew when I told him. As soon as I
Yeah.
told him, he was like, he ran to the conference. He was like, "Get the TV." You know, he knew.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, like, I don't know. Like, did you know? Well, you were in LA.
I was in LA, so
You weren't seeing it in real
my
time.
mom called me, and so I woke up to it after both towers had been hit,
Right. So many of my LA friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I
Well,
managed
because of the
to,
the 3 hour.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, and I was able to get through to the two people that I was friends with that lived in New York at the time. I was able to get through to them.
Yes,
on the
right
phone.
at the beginning, you
It
could
was
get
really-
through. You
yeah.
could get through
Yeah.
to people.
One person I had to call several times, but finally got through, and they were fine. And it was, but that was.
Yes. Anyway, the time after 9/11, people did. There was a minute, I would say, and this is not about that guy's tweet. I don't fucking care about that guy. I'm talking about like humanity and the nature of human beings.
Yeah.
And the capacity for solidarity and acceptance and tolerance
Mm-hmm.
that we have to work harder toward those principles. And I do think that when traumatic things happen, and we are experiencing trauma as a world.
Right.
The pandemic is not just America, like it's the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
That, we can come out of the other side of this with more compassion and understanding. I think it's possible, but we have to be vigilant and we have to be kind of purposeful about it. Like we can't just assume everybody is going to come out of this.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but we're so mired in this bullshit in our country.
I know,
and
our
this
country's full of
hatefulness in our
bullshit.
country.
Yeah.
And it's very hard to be.
It's to look beyond.
Yeah,
or out,
it's
or out.
hard to place your faith in those people right now. You know what I mean? Because they're already not doing it. So I just saw a fucking video. I saw a video of people doing like an anti-mask little parade in a Target or something where a bunch of people, like a half dozen people wearing like MAGA shit, like marched through, did a little parade. They marched through a Target.
Right.
And they had like a little, somebody's playing maybe on their phone, "We're Not Going to Take It" by Twisted Sister.
Right.
And they're yelling at people to take their masks off. And it's like, what the fuck? What are you doing?
Why? I know.
God damn.
I don't know. I mean, I don't understand that. I get like there's a social benefit to those groups like QAnon or whatever. Like what happens is you have this longing. I talk about this in therapy sometimes. Like you have a longing that is unfulfilled. So basically, like, don't even look at the ideas and the ideals and the values. What is the root? The root is a longing. You have a longing to belong to a certain group, and then you sort of connect or join this one group with a commonality. And now all of a sudden the social cost of looking at facts have no currency anymore.
I know, because unfortunately the what's behind it is not so much, it's not just like looking for a place to belong. it's looking for a justification of these bad feelings that you have. And it's not about believing in something so much as it is about having a shared scapegoat with someone else where you say, yes, these are the problems. We're great. We don't have to think about anything we're doing or the way we think. And we are the ones that have it right. It's the other people that have it wrong. And they're trying to make us feel bad. They're trying to take things away from us, whether it's jobs or...
That's that seductive victim. That's that seductive victim mentality.
Exactly.
Which is so unappealing. I'm sorry, but it is. Like
The seductive mentality of victimhood.
I really find it so boring and tiresome.
Honey, I couldn't have put it better myself.
I mean, we all are victim to certain things at certain times in our life. That is a common human experience. It's just when people adopt it.
Disco fever. Baseball fever.
Wait, we're a victim of disco fever?
There's so many fevers out there. Dance fever, disco fever, baseball fever.
I just think when people adopt it as their identity, it's I don't know
Which is,
of
course, what they say about the other side is
that we are victims?
yes, that we have adopted an identity of victimhood. Too much on this, right?
No. Why?
Well, this is enough. Let's say enough. Not too much, but this is enough.
Is it?
Well, I'm not having fun anymore.
Shit. Okay.
Look.
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my
Welcome to my world. Miracles, I guess.
What a presumptuous song.
Paul's not having fun anymore, so I guess
No, because the world is too much with us.
the world is never not with us.
Yeah. The new James Bond movie. The world is never not with us.
You know what? That is a James Bond movie I would look forward to. I look forward to all of them, though. Whenever you see a trailer for a new James Bond movie, it's thrilling, right?
Yeah, it's fun. It is fun. It's like a little
It's
event.
like dun
for
dun,
sure.
dun 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 dun. That's not really the music.
That's Mission Impossible.
Okay. Doo-doo-doo.
That's Mission Impossible.
Okay.
Okay. Do-do-do, do-do-do.
Okay. It's dun
Nope.
dun. It's dun 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 dun.
No, that's Peter Gunn.
Okay. It's
Or Spy Hunter if you're nasty.
Okay. It's
What? What's that?
Ba, ba, ba.
Is that MidSOMMar?
It's da da na na.
What? Do you seriously not remember the James Bond theme?
I'm trying to recall it. I'm trying to recall. Give me one note. I can name that tune in one note.
Boom.
Chicka bow bow.
Nope. Oh, yeah. That's right. You got it.
Give me. I can name it in two notes.
Bond.
Bum bum.
No, I'm making a joke.
Oh,
I can't give you two. I try to give you.
give me one again. Bomb. What'd you give me? Bomb.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Give me one.
Boom.
Baum. Baum. Baum.
What? No. All right.
Bum bada bum bum bada bada bum bum bada.
What is this? Jai-ho!
Bum bada bum bum bada bum.
No, what? No! Oh my God!
Bum bada bum bum bada bum. Bum bada bum bada bum.
No, you're still putting in Mission Impossible.
Do it. Just do it. Why are you doing And there you have it.
And there you have it. Okay, recommendations?
Well, I'd like to convey that I
The chair recognizes.
am a guest on Stop Podcasting Yourself, which is a Canadian podcast. It comes out on Monday. I had a weird moment where Graham, one of the hosts, said, I loved Wendy's, and I had no fucking idea what he's talking about.
This is...
And then I told Paul, and then Paul was like, you never said that. And then I went back to the podcast, and I said it.
That's right.
So I have egg on my face. Nope, I have Frosty on my face.
You have a square egg on your face.
I have Frosty on my face.
Stop Podcasting Yourself is a great podcast. They've been going for a while. Dave Shumka and Graham Clark, two comedians in Vancouver. Such funny guys.
I love
such
Canadians,
lovely
y'all.
guys.
I love Canadians. They're so nice.
They really
like to the point where I think they're joking. I'm like, are they really this nice?
Honey, they are.
They're really nice.
They're making fun of us.
I know.
But it's a great show. I've been on it multiple times, and I was so excited they asked Janie to do it.
I was nervous. I kept telling them, I'm like, I'm nervous. I'm not who you think I am. I don't have, because like I went on their list of podcasts and I was like, comedian so-and-so, comedians. And I'm like, dude, I am not a comedian. Like, I'm not going to.
Where's that young lady who was challenging Jerry Seinfeld for the throne a few hours ago?
Because that was someone who was 40 in 1986.
That's right. Dating a 17-year-old. But we forgot all about that.
He didn't date her until he was like 50 or something.
No, he was like in his 40s.
Oh, he's in his 40s.
Yes, and she was a high school senior.
Not cool.
Anyway,
Jerry.
So
not cool.
Stop Podcasting Yourself. Janie's a guest on, and I'm very excited about it.
Comes out Monday.
Jane, you told me that he started the interview. Like you guys sat down at the Zoom, and Graham Clark, very funny, lovely guy. I love him to death.
Yes.
Said, "Oh, you two have something in common. You both love Wendy's hamburgers."
And I was like, I thought it was a gag. Because I was like, oh no, these guys are comedians.
One of Graham's jokes. He accuses people of loving Wendy's
I
hamburgers.
was like, these guys are comedians, and like, this is like an improv thing. And I was like, I was frozen. Like, my face froze. I was like, what? Because I did. So then I went and did research, and I did offhandedly in our McDonald's episode mention that I liked Wendy's over McDonald's. But what is so crazy about that whole conversation and just in general is that I don't really like fast food. Like, the reason we got McDonald's is because we were at a low point in our lives. It was not like
what?
Like, it wasn't
That's
like,
because we thought it was going to be fun. We were going to go to the drive-in and get McDonald's on the way. A low point in our lives.
it wasn't like, oh my God, y'all, I love fast food. I like don't eat that way normally.
Yes.
So I was like surprised.
But neither one of us could remember.
I like all food. I'm not trying to be.
Look, hey,
I'm not foodist.
Food is good.
I'm not being foodist. I just don't.
I eat dirt and rocks sometimes. What was so crazy was we could not remember mentioning Wendy's at all ever, like in our lives, much less on the podcast. But then you found
I
it.
did not present myself because I was like the whole time I was like, I fucked up in the first minute of this thing.
No, I'm sure it's good. I can't wait to listen. It's going to be great. Those guys are great, and they're going to take good care of you. I want to recommend. God, what did I want to recommend?
You said stop to pet your dog. I pet your dog.
Can I pet your? Can I pet your dog? I'll be on an upcoming episode of that. I feel like there's something. Well, of course, Lauren Lapkus and I are doing a show. Let me try to get my plugs in order. Okay, first we're doing the Thrilling Adventure Hour on September 26th. Through
Zoom,
yes,
y'all.
that's going to be on YouTube.
He's going to post all these links on our Twitters and stuff.
Yes, but I'll take a link up at paulftompkins.com/live.
Okay.
So first, Saturday, September 26th, 5 p.m. Pacific, the Thrilling Adventure Hour, streaming live. Then Monday, October 5th, Lapkus and Tompkins and the Living Dead, streaming live 5 p.m.
Yes.
And then October 17th, I believe it is, going to be doing a live reading. Yes, Saturday, October 17th, live reading of Plan 9 from Outer Space.
Oh, fun.
The Ed Wood classic. It is produced by Dana Gould.
What time is that?
That is, I think that might be 5 p.m. Pacific.
Because it's 5 p.m. Pacific is sort of the sweet spot for like East and West Coast, I think.
Oh, 6 p.m. That one is at 6 p.m. But that has a great cast reading the actual script from Plan 9 for Outer Space. And we've done it live a bunch of times at various theaters. It's always so much fun. I'm thrilled to be doing it again. And but all those events are up at paulftompkins.com/.
And you want to mention also that you have a new podcast about Star Trek coming out?
Honey, thank you very much. I am the co-host, along with my dear friend Tawny Newsome, of the latest official Star Trek podcast called Star Trek The Pod Directive. It comes out on Mondays. One episode already came out with Ben Stiller was our guest. I can't remember who's on the second episode, but it's a fun podcast. You don't have to be a Star Trek fan to listen to it. We use Star Trek as a jumping off point for conversation, but it is not alienating to people. No pun intended. It's not alienating to people who are not Star Trek fans.
Right.
And it is not. I don't think it's annoying to people who are Star Trek fans.
Right.
That there's not enough Trek talk.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just a fun conversational thing. And
all right.
Tawny is great. She has a new album out.
Oh yeah. I got a notice about it, but I haven't checked it out yet because it just happened.
Yes.
So if you don't know about Tawny Newsome, she's a very funny comedic performer, but she also does music.
Yes, she's an extremely talented, one of the most talented people I've ever known in my life.
Also, she's like really funny and chill, and
Yes,
like a cool, like down to earth person. Like if you meet her, she's like, yeah, whatever, I don't give a fuck.
But also, she don't take no mess.
Yeah, she's fun.
She is. Tawny's great, and Material Flats is the name of the album.
Yes,
and it's available on Bandcamp. It comes out next month.
Please.
Oh wait, I also got to tell people.
Oh my god,
I'm in this
many plugs.
I know. I'm in this music video.
Oh yeah,
the one I talked about last week.
We posted about it on our Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah, but that's out now. You can find it on YouTube. Open Mike Eagle Bucciarati, Bucciarati. Great video directed by the fantastic Demi Adijuibe. And it's a lot of fun. So check that out. If you wanted to see me rap, now's the time.
And people were clamoring for that.
We just shoot everyone off the lawn. We said, you can go home now. It happened.
This is a record breaker, longest episode ever.
Maybe. Don't they all feel like that?
If longest year ever. You guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for writing us at stayfhomekins@gmail.com. So many amazing emails.
Yes.
So much great fan art. Funny questions that sometimes we don't get to on the podcast, but we hope to.
We should do like a special questions episode or something like that.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah. Well, why would I say that on the recording? Now we have to do it.
It's not a bad idea. It's a great idea.
Yeah, so you can write to us at stayfhomekins@gmail.com. We are stayfhomekins on Twitter and Instagram. And I think that's it. Thank you for listening.
And we want you to
stay safe,
stay sane.
And stay